Okay, let's start with a video about understanding SEO variables. So you gotta understand also that when I wrote this, and we're talking not 2020, that was when it got updated, 2016, 2017, something like that. Um, it only applied to these types. Maybe there's other new formats or something like that. I've been researching, I didn't find any. And also, I do want to point out that most of the postfix formats, and I'll talk about this later, don't really apply to you as the user. Okay, so let's start with each of the type of percentages that you always see on your site. So SEO variable names are variables that appear between percent signs, and they can be grabbed and modified from different places on the system, by the way, and are pre-processed. So while the backend work is happening before the page gets rendered, they read this and they're like, okay, let me look for that system variable or SEO variable or text label variable or email variable, etc., 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 and process that before sending it to the output of the email template, the leads, the actual website, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So Brain Directories offers several ways to customize how they will look on the page. So if you see something with a single percent sign, something like this, it has 1% on each side and then whatever the variable name is. That means that it will show this variable in lowercase. Not plural, not capitalized, no, just in lowercase. That's it. Okay. Then you have the second case. And here you can see basically an example that I did here. If you were to put website name and the website name is actually Brain Directory's website, you'll see everything in lowercase. In this example, notice that all letters are lowercase. Let's do a live example here, okay? So I'm going to go to settings, general settings, and here's what, well, okay, we'll change that later, but here's where you can see the actual website name variable, which is here. Actually, literally says it there, website name. And if you're geeky, you can right click this, inspect, and you'll see that it says here website underscore name. Sounds familiar because here it's actually there too, website underscore name. So let's go to that page. I think the about is the one that we were updating today. Yeah, okay. So here's one example. We can go to this page. Let me make the text larger for you guys so you can actually see on the video. Nothing except biscuits. And the site website name is pretty cool, no? Yeah, something. Let's save that and let's look at the actual rendering of this specific static page on the front. So we click view page and then we see this. See? Nothing except biscuits and the site Luis Alvarado testing site. Then if we go to the back end, remember settings, general settings, you can actually see here, Luis Alvarado testing site. But notice something. It says Luis Alvarado capitalized, testing site capitalized. I'm just gonna do this. Testing. And if you come here, refresh, because I put 1% sign on both sides, you can still see it like this. Okay, all in lowercase. Now, let's go to the documentation. If we see a single percent sign plus the first letter is capitalized, what does that mean? You can see the W here for the variable website name is capitalized versus the one here. If a single percent sign is used with the first letter of the variable capitalized like this, it will look like this. Brain Directories website. Brain Directories website. Each word of each letter of each word, the first one, is capitalized. I'm doing this so you can see something here. I'm going to capitalize the first letter. Boop. There you go. Let's refresh and let's look at this. Luis Alvarado testing site. You can see that it capitalized. What's happening here is the following. It capitalized the first letter of each word, and then the rest was left as is. That's why I tried to put this here. So this is something that you gotta take into account for, I don't know, specific cases where you actually want everything to be capitalized. Let's go to the next case where we actually see double percentage. So you see two percentages there. So what the two do is make the basically the last word plural. Okay, so it should now say sites. If I put two, let's put this in lowercase, save it, refresh it, and you're gonna see that now it says sites. If we come here and we put this in the first letter, capitalized, we refresh, you get the same thing, but plural. Now we're gonna go to the last one of the groups here, which is the triple percent sign. What does the triple percent sign do? It means that any value stored, basically the text that's supposed to be rendered, will be printed exactly like it is. Capital letters will remain capital letters, lowercase will remain lowercase, etc., etc., etc. So I want to show you something. I'll put 3 now. Okay. Let me mix and match this. So let me put site in lowercase. Actually, let me do the TE here in lowercase too. And let's refresh. So again, we put the W lowercase, but this time we did the triple percent. And you can see you respected the actual text and the way that was showing. Okay. If I do this, based on the rules of the percentages, and again, we're taking into consideration that I'm putting three percentages on both sides. It will not matter. It will respect what you have there. Okay. So now that you know that the single one will basically print the thing in lowercase, the double one will print it in plural. The first letter capitalized will capitalize each word, and then the third one basically prints it as is. Let's go down here. So these are special cases, okay? Before, this is like way back before. These are typically used for country names, state names, stuff like that internally. Okay, it's not for something that you want to control or show on the front. These are actually used for other things on the system. You can actually read it here if you wanted to, but the only one that you can visually actually show is AS or AS. So let's put it like this. So you put the tilde symbol, you put AS, and we got site. And what that's going to do is going to add the apostrophe format. See? Sites. So there might be cases where you actually want to do this. Now you know how. You put the tilde symbol as whatever. Okay? We can change this to a bunch of things. So I want to show you that too. Here's, for example, about me. Let's put about me here. Okay, and you can see it here, about me, and about me, or her, or him, or she, or something, and pam, 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 pam. Refresh. Okay, and you can see here how it changes. So this is one case where the SEO variables can be picked up from. You can just copy this, and you can use them. There's no problem. Okay. The other one is the system variables that you can see here. So like website name that I was doing. This is profession name. So if I were, here it says software engineer. If I were to come here and we put here, just remove that one because you already know that the tilde asks what it does. Um, profession name. Let's save it, refresh, and I'm supposed to get software engineer. What happened here? What happened here? Okay, let me show you. Here is profession. This will happen mainly or most of the time on emails. If you put the wrong one, you put an additional letter or something, and it's not found, it will print it as is because it was never matched against something. Okay? If I do this, however, now we'll get the software engineer thingamajig. Okay? So for system ones, make sure like industry, this one, industry. You could assume industry name, and then you would get the same error. Default website email, and I think this main four is the one that you typically, um, or these three are the typical ones that you can use. And then you go to the text labels, and you got all the ones that are there. Okay. Along with this group, then you have the email ones, which is the most used and important ones here. So for emails, if you go to email templates, let's edit one email. For example, let's do this one. Let's customize that baby. You can actually see them here. So when somebody joins your site, welcome to whatever the name of the site is, family. Your account has been activated. Pam, 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 pam. Your username is whatever email that member that we're sending this email to will show here. Logging here, protocol website URL. And you're like, right now you gotta be thinking, okay, how the hell do I know the list of this and how many they are? Well, you got, let's assume three here. You got website name, industry, and profession. Okay? There might be more, but mainly from here you can only gather those three. So you got those three. And then you have all the ones that are here. And we're talking a bunch of them. There's 88 pages. Each page has 20. Okay? We're talking about, just a little amount there. You got that amount there. And for the emails, you got this list here. Email variables. So, well, I wanted to do something with the first name. Oh, there we go. Oh, with a name, something with a name. What can I do with a name? You got the full name here, last name, first name, file name, which is the URL of the member, group name, okay, for mainly for posts, photo album, properties, stuff like that. You got the website name, which you already knew from the other one. Invoice product name, mainly for the invoice. And we're looking for that protocol. And you're like, what the hell is a protocol? Okay, protocol. Oh, it's the HTTP or GPS plus the domain. Ah, got it. And this basically will take them to the login page. That's what this means. Okay, because you got the HTTPS, colon slash slash the name of the site.com and then the slash login here. Okay. So that's how you can look for them. One of the questions that I saw in the Brain Directories Facebook group is, a list of them. The list will always vary depending on the site. Why? Because you could actually, some sites can actually make up their own, um, variables. Some sites, depending on the language, will change the actual value. Okay. I mean, how they actually show it, depending on the language. So it's, you want to summarize like how many there are, it's text labels, okay, 1,755 on this site. If you go to your site, you might not have 1,755. You might have a different number. 1,755 here plus 3 from the general settings, which is the website name, industry, and profession. There might be more here, but I don't check this every day. Plus the ones that you get from the email templates. So you guys, you got those um, three there. And some of them actually come from the membership plans options and stuff like that. So there's what, more than 2,000? You can just put it something like that, or around 2,000. But at least now you know, which is the important thing, where do you actually search for them? So you go to settings, text label, and that's basically 99% of them. For the general settings, you got where you can actually change their value here. For the emails, you got email templates. You edit the template that you want to create, or an existing one, or a new one, whatever. And then here you can see the email variables. Before, we're talking a year ago, this list was probably 8 or 10 or 15. Now it has been updated and grew and grew and grew, and you can now just see stuff about posts, website variables that you can actually you can actually showcase on the template of the email, chat variables, like the content of what people were um, talking about, like hey, you got a lead, and the lead is about they wrote this information, so if you want to respond, click this to log into your site and do something. And you even got invoices here, so it has been keeping up with updates and stuff. So yeah, that's it. So now you know how the SEO variables work on BD. Now you know where you can actually search for them and manipulate them, and the three main places. Actually, there's more, but the main three places where you can actually play around with them. So you got the email templates, the text labels. You actually go to a page, even though that's something that I wanted to show, because I also got that question here. Exactly, beautiful. So even though it doesn't show here, you can pretty much use all the system ones, which are the three ones, and all the text labels as shown. Okay, so hope this helps. Big hugs to everybody, and think positive as always. Bye.